All right, guys, I'm back with another super important video today where I am going to show you exactly how to calculate the potential profit that you can make with Google Ads for your business, right? Now, this is a very, very helpful video for anyone who's thinking of starting Google Ads and just hasn't decided to dive into it yet. They're still wondering about the potential profitability, the potential margins, what they can make from it. But it's also really helpful for people who are already running Google Ads and just want to get a better view of their profitability and a better view of their potential when they scale up their campaigns and account, right? So what I'm going to be walking you through today is my Google Ads ROI calculator just here. As you can see, I have a e-com profit calculator and also a service-based profit calculator. I'm going to walk you through how both of these work exactly so you know how to use them. And I'm also going to drop the link for this sheet down below. You don't have to opt in, don't have to buy it, don't have to do anything at all. You can just grab it straight from the link below and you can use it for your own business once you pick up a copy of it. I think you will find it super, super helpful. I've used this to close clients in the past. I've used this to predict value for really big clients I work with. I've used it to give really small businesses just an outlook of potential money they can make with Google Ads. There are unlimited uses for this thing. It's really helpful, it's really useful, and I'm gonna dive in right now and show you how to use it so you guys can make more money with this calculator. So, first of all, you can see we're gonna start with the Ecom Profit Estimator, right? So the estimator is something that you can use to try and guess how much you can make with Google Ads before you're already running ads, right? And this is for e-com stores first because I know most of my viewers are running e-com, so I want to give you guys the full rundown. So basically, these are the factors that you need to fill in, the yellow factors, right? As you can see here, yellow cells, you need to enter your own values, right? Gray cells are your output values, and then the green cell is the most important part, which is projected profit, right? Now, these yellow cells are things that you can acquire before you actually start running the Google Ads to make an effective estimate, right? Now, in this case, we're going to work with an example of a brand who may have a lot of money to potentially deploy into Google Ads and has a pretty standard AOV product with pretty solid product margins, right? And that's exactly what we're looking at in this estimate. So we're going to pretend that this brand can put in $10,000 a month of ad budget, right? You know what, for argument's sake, just so I can show you that this works, let's change it to 15,000, right? Let's say this brand can invest $15,000 per month into Google Ads, into the ad spend, right? That's what we've got for the ads budget there. Now, we need to figure out what their average cost per click is going to be, right? Now, this can be a little bit tricky. However, Google has this really handy thing called the Keyword Planner, where you can go and you can figure out keyword estimates for your niche and try and identify exactly how much it's going to cost you to advertise on your predicted keywords, right? It's going to be an estimate, it's not going to be perfect, but it will help give you a range, right? Now, if we were to imagine that we're only running shopping campaigns, for example, the average CPCs on shopping campaigns run between $0.5 to $0.8. This is probably up a little bit higher now. I honestly would set it at 1, just to give a more conservative estimate. This was made a while ago, but let's set it at $1 just for argument's sake. I'm sure if you want to get a more accurate estimate on average CPCs for shopping campaigns, you could quickly search the web and you'd find a great resource for it. Anyway, let's go with $1 for average CPC, which is pretty standard for shopping and something you can definitely achieve in specific markets. So we know that we're spending $1 per click, right? Conversion rate. Now, this is going to be based on your existing conversion rate on the store. Now, obviously, depending on what kind of traffic you're driving to that store, it's going to affect your conversion rate. So if you're driving purely cold traffic from Meta, you will see a lower conversion rate than if you're perhaps driving high intent traffic from a different source, right? But Google is going to give you typically really high intent traffic if you're targeting the right terms. And as a result, you'll probably get a higher conversion rate from Google than from other channels, right? So let's say you're getting a 2-3% conversion rate on Meta. Let's just put in a 4 here. I've seen 4% conversion rates. I've seen 5, I've seen 6. I've seen really high conversion rates in some accounts on cold traffic. But 3 to 4% conversion rate is certainly achievable with a good product, well-optimized ads, and a good structure in your account. So let's just go with 4% here. Average product revenue, right? How much are you making from a sale of your product? So this is just basically the cost of your product. In this case, we're going to go with a product that costs $72 AOV. You know what, let's just change this again to show you that the calculator works. Let's say that it's an $80 product. The average order value is $80. Average product revenue is $80. And then the COGS for that purchase, this is the average product cost. This is how much you're spending to supply this product to your customer. Let's say the COGS is $20 here. And then you can enter any fixed costs you may have. So this may be advertising expenses, like an advertising retainer for, let's say, $2,000. So you're spending $2,000 a month on ads. That could be a fixed cost. Anything else you may have that you want to integrate into there that we can apply to our calculator. All right, now let's walk through the gray cells. We can see that with all of these variable factors we've input, we've come out with a $60 average cost per conversion, because that's calculated from the cost. Profit per conversion rather, sorry, not cost per conversion. Our profit per conversion is calculated simply from the product revenue subtracted and subtracting the cost of goods. So cost of goods subtracted from the product revenue. And then the total clicks is determined by the budget divided by the cost per click, 15,000 divided by 1. The total cost is determined by the cost per click times the budget, it's just a budget plus a fixed cost rather, and that is going to be your total spend, right? So you're spending 15,000 on ads and you're spending 2,000 on fixed expenses, and then you finally have the number of conversions, which is determined by the sum of our clicks multiplied by our conversion rate, right? So the number of clicks, if we have 15,000 clicks and we have 4% of those converting, that ends up with 600 total conversions, which is quite a lot, right? And then from that, you can project your profit. So 600 conversions with $60 profit per conversion gives you a total profit of $19,000, right? Which is a really, really good profit. These ROI figures are based on a different kind of ROI you may be used to. It's not typical ROAS, so don't worry about that too much. However, this is the total profit you'll be generating from a $15,000 investment, right? And this isn't revenue. This isn't like, it's kind of 19,000 minus 15,000 to give you 4,000 profit. This is pure profit here. So this is how much you are generating after your expenses, after your ads budget, and after your fixed costs. As you can see here, it's calculated by multiplying your profit per conversion times your number of conversions subtracted by your total cost. So that's your profit from the products minus your advertising and fixed costs. And that gives you $19,000 in profit, right? So that's a really, really good profit. And if you're generating $19,000 profit per month on Google Ads, most businesses would be really happy with that. If we sum it all up, 19,000 plus 17,000 gives us total of 36,000, and then 15,000 input with 36,000 output is a total ROAS of about 2.2 or something, 2.3, right? So that's the ROAS you only need is about a 2.2 to generate this kind of return, right? Now, this is a calculator for existing ads, something you can use to identify the amount of profit you're making from the ads that you're already running. If you're spending $20,000, your cost of ads is $2,000, your cost of goods sold is $4,000, and your fixed costs are $100, you'll be coming out with $13,900 net profit. This is just a real quick and dirty profit calculator to help you out if you're not exactly sure on how much profit you're making from your ads, which is a pretty common case here. Obviously, cost of ads here, 2,000 return, 20,000 in rev is a 10x ROAS. That's pretty crazy, but definitely is achievable in some accounts. I've seen it happen before. Now, let's move on to the service-based profit calculators. This is something else which I know a lot of you will find helpful, and this is going to give you some idea of how much money you can make with a service-based business on Google Ads, right? Let's start once again with our input cells. So ads budget, I've started with a slightly lower budget here because we often find that service-based businesses do start a little bit lower a lot of the time. So if you're starting with a $2,000 monthly budget and your average service price is $750, your profit margin is on that service, right? So let's say you're offering for $750, you're offering a full house cleaning for $750, right? Let's just say that. Your profit margin on that income there is 67%. So you pay your cleaners, pay any other fees you may have. You come out 67% profit, which is pretty good, obviously, but we're just going to use that. Expected cost per click. So CPCs can be a little bit higher in some service-based businesses because they are a bit more competitive in search campaigns. So we're going to go with $5 as an estimate here. It's booking rate from ads, right? So when we talk about a conversion, A conversion in the service-based business is often characterized by a call booking. So we got to figure out how many people from our ads are going to book calls. Now, 10% is totally an achievable number if you're targeting the right people. So 10% of people who get shown an ad end up booking a call. It is achievable. It's obviously a high percentage, but I've seen it happen in a lot of accounts before. And then your conversion rate of calls customers. So how many of these people who book a call end up becoming a customer who pays you, right? We're saying in here it's about 40%. That assumes you have a good close rate and you can really convert those high intent leads that are coming through. So you'll be getting 400 clicks, you'll be getting 40 new bookings, 16 new clients, $12,000 in revenue generated from ads. It'll cost you $2,000 to acquire those new customers, which is your ad spend, and it'll cost you $3,960 to supply your service, which gives you a net profit of $6,040 from your Google ads. And from that, it's a 3.02 ROAS. This is an accurate, I'm going to call this one ROAS here, because that's a more accurate representation of this. 3.02 ROAS from a $2,000 investment, which is pretty good, right? 6,000 profit from a $2,000 investment, obviously pretty happy with that in most cases. Now here's a quick one for existing ads. So if you're already running ads, you want to figure out how much profit you're making from those ads. We can figure out how many calls you booked from Google Ads. This is usually something you can just check quite quickly. How many calls you booked throughout, let's say, the month. 40 calls booked. Your conversion rate from those calls, you can simply quantify this by finding out what your conversion rate was on those calls. Say it was 40%. Your average service price is about $500. Your profit margin is 80%. Your cost of ads is $2,000 and your fixed costs are $100. You'll be closing 16 clients, profiting $6,400, getting a ROAS of 320% and getting a net profit of $4,300 here. I don't believe this ROAS figure is accurate. I might need to switch that one up quickly. I'll fix it up for you guys. But the net profit out here is 4,300. Actually, sorry, that ROAS is correct. My bad. 2,000 spend with 6,400 revenue is your ROAS. And that's before your fixed costs, which comes out to be 4,300 after everything is accounted for. And that's your return on your investment. So that is a helpful calculator for service-based businesses, right? Obviously, depending on what kind of brand you run, you can use either your ecom estimator, ecom predictor, service-based estimator, or service-based predictor here to figure out exactly how much profit you're generating with Google Ads. I think this will be very useful for you. Once again, I recommend using something like this before you dive into your ads to figure out just how much money you can make before really deploying a lot of money into it, because a lot of businesses simply don't have the fundamentals to scale on Google, right? Unfortunately, it is the case that if your margins aren't high enough, if your conversion rate isn't good enough, if your product's not strong enough, you just won't be able to get profitability on Google. And that's why I built this calculator to help people out and help them make informed decisions on the Google Ads front, right? Now, if you have any confusions about this calculator, if you want me to do a full analysis of your business and give you a startup guide or a audit, please feel free to book a call with me down below. I'll be more than happy to help you out. And if you are interested in picking up a brief course that shows you exactly how to set everything up in your Google Ads account, again, I'll leave the link down below for you. But that is all from me today. I hope you guys found this video helpful. I hope you find this sheet helpful here. Once again, I'll leave a link down in the description for you to use it. But that is all from me, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.